What's good, people? It's your content guy, Breeze here. First off, I want to thank you for coming over and checking out the channel. What we do here is we highlight the channels that are next to blow on YouTube. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video. Next on the roster, we have Celebrity Junk with O'Shea Duke Jackson. The content on the channel covers celebrity gossip, with O'Shea analyzing these situations from a black male's perspective. He recently reacted to Larsa Pippen's current dating situation. He starts the video off by making an analogy with Russell Wilson. O'Shea tells us how Russell was the hottest QB on the market just a few short years ago, with him wrapping up his time in Seattle. The market showed him prove his value with him signing a very lucrative deal with the Denver Broncos. After a short time, things went south with Wilson and the Broncos, and Wilson was back on the market looking for employment. Ultimately, he wound up getting a deal with the Steelers, but things were very different this time. This time, the market showed him his value was only worth a 1-year veterans minimum deal. Now Wilson is with the New York Jets, and once again he had to sign a 1-year deal. O'Shea states this is what has happened to Larsa Pippen in her dating life. Every time she hits the market shows her that her value has went down by the men she has access to at that point. She went from Scottie Pippen's wife to her getting her cheeks clapped by Future to her being in a relationship with Michael Jordan's son. O'Shea points out that Larsa is now dating a man we've never heard of. In another video, O'Shea covers Kayla Nicole putting up this risky photo of herself on IG with the caption, "We in Miami turning up another notch." O'Shea starts out by giving men a little class on what happens when you dump a woman. He gives men the clue to tell if things are going bad for their ex. The clue is if they are posting more provocative photos now in their single life than they were in a relationship, it's a sign of things being bad. O'Shea states this is where Kayla is at by posting this risky photo. O'Shea suggests that maybe her physical feature is all that she has to offer the man, hence the reason she was dumped by Iman Shumpert and Travis Kelce. So y'all go check out the great content being produced by O'Shea over at the Celebrity Junk. Next up on the roster, we have NBA Cinema. The content on the channel centers around everything NBA, whether it's news, commentary, or analysis. In one video on the channel, they cover Asia Wilson of the WNBA, saying she could play in the NBA, and her saying she would beat Knicks player Josh Hart in a one-on-one game. NBA Cinema points out that Asia Wilson isn't even the best female basketball player ever, with most people having Cheryl Miller as that. Then he points out what Cheryl Miller said about playing her younger brother, Reggie Miller, in a one-on-one game, with Cheryl alluding to the game getting ugly fast, with her being on the losing side of things. And this is when Reggie was only in high school and she was in college. NBA Cinema also brings up what Jeff Teague said about the matter, with Teague saying that no WNBA player is beating any NBA player. Teague states that NBA bench players are averaging 40 in high school and 20 in college. Teague says they wouldn't even beat college men players. In another video, NBA Cinema breaks down the drama building between De'Aaron Fox and Malik Monk ever since Fox was traded from the Sacramento Kings. NBA Cinema points out the subtle things that could have been perceived as shots by Fox while Malik Monk was being asked about the trade situation. Then he shows the two meeting on the court after the game when the two opposing teams played each other, which he suggests was an unpleasant encounter between the two by the body language of Malik Monk. Then he shows a video of De'Aaron Fox's wife having a heated discussion with Malik on the court. In the video, you can clearly see she's confronting him about something and Malik is defending himself in the exchange. So y'all go check out the great content NBA Cinema's putting out. Next on the roster, we have Phil Kofer. The content on the channel is lifestyle content, with us following Phil on his daily journeys throughout his life. In one video, he breaks down what he eats in a day while having a plant-based diet. The video starts out with Phil showing us what he has for breakfast, which is seeded watermelon juice, which he makes himself by cutting the watermelon up and blending it, then using a strainer to remove the seeds. After a quick workout, he prepares papaya and date balls for lunch. And later, he shows us a protein shake he makes filled with blueberries, bananas, and mulberries. For dinner, he prepares fried oyster mushrooms and baked sweet potato fries, with the oyster mushrooms being a substitute for chicken. I think this content is great because a lot of us are curious about the plant-based lifestyle, so it's refreshing to see it on video. In another video, Phil shares with us the reasons for him choosing the plant-based lifestyle, with family health history and personal health issues being contributing factors. The video is deep, with Phil opening up his life to his YouTube family. So y'all go check out the great content that Phil Kover's putting out. Next on the roster, we have the Simply Ball Dropping podcast with K-Sap. Content centers around K-Sap reacting to sports and hot topics. In one video, K-Sap reacts to Dan Patrick dissecting Stephen A's comments about LeBron during their beef, with Dan Patrick pulling all the receipts up on Stephen A. K-Sap reacts to Dan Patrick pointing out Stephen A's build-up and tear-down technique, with Stephen A listing LeBron's resume before he began to criticize Bronny for getting embarrassed by Tyrese Maxey. K-Sap agrees with this point, with him comparing it to breaking down a Black & Decker workbench. Dan Patrick also points out that Stephen A criticized LeBron's parenting of Bronny. Patrick points out that LeBron did not send his son to Afghanistan and that Bronny is doing what a 55th draft pick does, which is going back and forth to the G League and riding the bench during NBA games. Patrick also lets it be known that many NBA players have been embarrassed by Tyrese Maxey. Patrick says the comments seem personal and overboard. K-Sap totally agrees with this point. That's the reason he's been covering shows about Stephen A's contemporaries, calling him out for his comments about LeBron because it shows that even they think he's going below the belt with the comments. K-Sap states that as a parent, you want to protect your children at all costs, and when someone attacks your ability to parent, all bets are off. He states this is what Stephen A did, hence the reason LeBron confronted him. In another video, K-Sap covers Jason Whitlock's comments about Deion Sanders, with Jason attacking Deion's faith in Jesus Christ because Deion asked reporters do they believe in Colorado now that they had beaten TCU. Whitlock also states that Deion is very insecure, and he hides this behind his prime persona and all the gold chains he wears. K-Sap calls the comments by Whitlock blasphemy. K-Sap also points out that Jason always has a problem with the Black community, with him referencing times where Whitlock has been critical of LeBron James, George Floyd, and Tyree Nichols. K-Sap also states that Whitlock loved Deion's prime persona when it served him as a Cowboy fan, and he loved it while Deion was in college, but now that he's a coach and it's serving him and his program, Whitlock hates it. So y'all go check out the Simply Ball Dropping podcast and appreciate the great content. All right, guys, if you like the content, I want you to like and subscribe. And if you can think of a channel that you think should have made the roster, leave it down in the comment section. Peace.